What's up, guys? I'm DK Wrestler, and today I'm going to be going on a Funko Pop hunt. And we're going to be going to my local GameStop because since the last time we were there during WonderCon, they have restocked on quite a bit of sweet Funko Pops. And we're going to be seeing if my GameStop has any of those pops, such as the new wave of WWE pops, some of the WonderCon exclusives that weren't there when they had first released, and some of the TargetCon exclusives that never got to release on time here in Canada. And there currently is a sale going on at GameStop where it's buy 3 and get 1 free of any size. So whether that be all of them being 4-inch pops, or perhaps I could buy 3 10-inch pops and get another 10-inch pop free, even though there's no way I'm walking out with a bunch of 10-inch pops. But if you do end up enjoying this type of content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But nonetheless, let's kick off this video at GameStop.
Alright, so now I'm inside of GameStop, and the first section I do have to look at is, of course, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Section, which looks like we still have stock of some of the ones that I still need, like Yubel. We got one of the Elemental Heroes, and then Alexis Rhodes, which I need, which would work out perfectly of buy 3, get 1 free. So after buying those, then I figure out one more. I guess that's how it would be if I were to pick some Yu-Gi-Oh! Pops up today. And then I thought I would look at the WWE section because we do have the newest wave now available here at GameStop Canada with X-Pac, Stacy Keibler, LA Knight, yeah, Io Sky, and Gunther the Ring General. And so I want to actually take a look at some of these pops, like X-Pac with the tongue sticking out. That's pretty sweet. Stacy Keibler, that one is okay, but we do got to take a look at the LA Knight. That one's pretty cool, but I do like the Fanatics exclusive one a little bit better. Io Sky, of course, as I'm recording this, she's going in as the Women's World Champion. Gunther the Ring General here when he was the Intercontinental Champion. The posing definitely makes sense with the arms behind the back because that is the Imperium pose. And above that, I do see some Star Wars pops with a couple of Ezra Bridgers. I believe this one is an exclusive. Nope, that is a common. Maybe it's this one that is an exclusive. Yeah, that is the newer. I think it was normally a Target exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. And then over here, we do got some of the Last Ronin pops, Sonic the Hedgehog, but pops I actually haven't seen in person yet are the newer Squid Game pops, which I actually did watch the newer season within the last couple of months, and it was a very intense season. Of course, like usual, we do got quite a bit of Pokemon with a bunch of Quaxleys, Sobble, we got restocks of Squirtle, Sprigatito, Teddy Ursa, but I believe these two are actually brand new in store, which is Dratini and Fido, which I wanted to take a look at Dratini, which this is pretty sweet. And speaking of Pokemon, if you haven't noticed yet, if you go on Google, if you type in a Pokemon from Gen 1, you can actually find a Pokeball on the bottom right of your screen, and then you can actually catch that Pokemon and then catch all 151 Pokemon from Gen 1. So I thought that was a really cool thing if you didn't know that you can do that with Google, at least through your phone. But then we got Flareon, Fuecoco, Gardevoir, Greninja, Grookey, a restock of Jolteon, and of course with some anime we got some One Piece, a lot of the same character, but this one, I believe if I'm not mistaken, this was the one that released for WonderCon this year. Yes, it was, but it wasn't available in store when I had came in here for WonderCon exclusive pops, so this is the first time that I am seeing that. And of course there is the sticker closer up and the QR code. Then we got some of these Pop Rocks pops with very unique boxes. I can't remember which one these are. This is New Jeans. Never heard of New Jeans before. We got ourselves some basketball pops. We got more anime with Naruto, which I'm going to see if I can... I think this is actually also the WonderCon exclusive. Yes, this is one of the WonderCon exclusives that also didn't arrive on time. There was only that Big Moments that was available, along with the 2-pack of the Fairly Odd Parents that was available at the time. But seeing this in person finally, pretty cool to see. Other than that, it's looking like a lot of the same pops on the shelves. Besides, I do see some of the Pride pops here for DC Comics, but other than that, like I mentioned, it's looking like a lot of stuff that we have normally seen, like Dragon Ball Z. And I thought I would look at the pops on this display, like this 10-inch My Hero Academia pop. We got the Charlie Brown and Lucy, which a little bit pricey there, but that's probably because of the unfortunate tariffs that are going on. There is the Doc Ock and Lizard Deluxe. And here's actually a closer view of the Anti-Cosmo and Wanda from WonderCon, which I couldn't see it so closely because it was behind the counter at the time. But now here it is, if you couldn't tell, during the WonderCon pop hunt. And then once again, we got pretty much the same pops on here, including that pop albums of Bon Jovi, and then some more deluxe pops here, including Avatar: The Last Airbender. And actually right here, I'm not sure if I showed this off the last time, but it is the die-cast Yoda, which obviously probably not going to get it, but would always be afraid to get a die-cast pop so that I don't get that horrible silver chase. And I actually did notice that GameStop here in Canada did get some of the TargetCon exclusives a little bit late, but the Skeletor from the TMNT Masters of the Universe lineup, this thing looks absolutely amazing with the detail, along with the He-Man that's actually there also. Look at that, that's pretty sweet. And I also did notice another WonderCon TargetCon exclusive, being the Cameron Fry from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the more updated version of him with that Detroit Red Wings jersey, and he's even got an NHL sticker.
Today I wanted to give a shout out to Sentinel 107, and the reason I'm giving them a shout out is because they signed up for our YouTube channel membership, which only cost $1.99 a month. Which not only do you get a shout out on every single video, but you also get a bunch of other perks like using custom emojis in the comments, and more importantly, early access to every videos and shorts that we do on this channel. So definitely consider joining our YouTube channel membership. It'll be greatly appreciated and will help out this channel tremendously, especially because of how expensive these videos can be to do for you guys. So definitely consider, but nonetheless, let's continue on with this video. All right, guys, so we are back from GameStop, and I did purchase one Funko Pop, not three, unfortunately, considering that I couldn't find three that I actually wanted to do this deal. And especially with the Yu-Gi-Oh set, and seeing that a lot of them end up being $5 on $5 Fridays, that I'm gonna wait until possibly a better sale happens where it is like 30% off like I normally see them at, or if it is a $5 Friday sale. And there was one individual pop that really caught my eye, and that's because my local GameStop got in the Funko Shop exclusive One Piece pop that had the chase there in store. However, that wasn't the one Funko Pop that I had purchased, because I felt, you know what, all I'm gonna do with this pop is just try and flip it on the secondary market, and knowing how constantly Funko is devaluing themselves and how some pops can't even hold value nowadays, that I just didn't bother buying it for the resale value, and that I just let one of you guys that probably love One Piece more than I do actually get a hold of a chase in the wild. Even though they always say, never leave a chase in the wild. Well, with me and trying to sell a decent amount of my Funko collection, I just don't want to add another pop to try and sell on top of what I'm already trying to sell. But like I mentioned, I did purchase one pop today at GameStop, and it's actually going to be a gift. And that pop is the Slippery When Wet pop albums from Bon Jovi. Now, this is actually going to be a gift for my mom for Mother's Day in a few weeks, because she loves Bon Jovi. Look at that pop right in there. And there is the album in the background. Let's check out the one side profile right there where it says Slippery When Wet. Then we got that side profile, and then we got the back of the box that basically just has the album on the back. And yeah, hopefully my mom does enjoy this gift, which I'm sure she will, because I already got her the other Bon Jovi pop for her birthday last year's.
And I guess I thought I'd show off more closely, since I do have access to her collection of the John Bon Jovi pop. It is listed as John Bon Jovi because obviously that is his real name. And then there is the back of the box where it does have that nice art of his logo right there. It doesn't show any future pops because at the time this was the only John Bon Jovi pop, which this actually isn't the only pop that I've gifted to my mom in the past. One of the first times I went to Niagara Falls Comic-Con, I did pick her up the 2-pack of Rose and Jack from the Titanic. Titanic is one of her favorite movies of all time, and I thought it was better off just to get the 2-pack instead of getting the 2 singular pops that they did. And then there's the back of the box with, of course, the Titanic in the background. I got her the OG Baby and Johnny pops from Dirty Dancing. I debated on getting her the new set of pops, but because it is just 2 different versions of Baby and Johnny, I felt there was really no point realistically when these two are perfectly fine. And then once again, there is the back of the box, which is basically the same backing but with the art forms of each character. And then the only other pop she has in her collection is Mr. Peanut from Planters Peanuts. She's a pretty big fan of Mr. Peanut. We actually do have a Mr. Peanut container in our kitchen where we store stuff in, so I thought it'd be really cool to add this Mr. Peanut into her collection. mentioned. And then there's the back of the box with the art form of Mr. Peanut, and of course there is the Mr. Peanut Pop art form on the back as well, and there has been the Baby Nut Pop that they had made, but I never got around to actually getting that for her, and I think she'd only be interested in this pop realistically. So yeah, there's her Funko Pop collection before she gets the pop albums for Mother's Day.
So now that this pop has released, I'm sure that she's going to enjoy it just as much as the other one.